Have you ever wondered, why does the man himself, Mr. Top G, Andrew Tate, eat 1 meal a day? Let's find out together.
So I don't eat more to get bigger. 1 meal a day is good. I like being hungry most of the day. It keeps my brain firing. When you're hungry, you're on.
What about your diet? How you stay so lean?
I eat once a day about. You need to eat more meat.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
I'm pretty sure if you've been following Andrew Tate and his journey, you have seen that he speaks about eating 1 meal a day a lot in his videos. The reason as to why Andrew is eating 1 meal a day, and also he's doing keto as well, which is limiting his amount of carb intake and eating mostly fats and proteins, is really not by coincidence. As you've probably heard him say, the reason as to why he is eating 1 meal a day is because he wants to be quick, he wants to think fast, he wants to be clear and not dealing with food. He likes being hungry pretty much. Now if you take a look at the system behind all this equation, it actually makes really good sense. Andrew is eating 1 meal a day, preferably around dinner time, so late evening, right? Now he's fasting for 24 hours, obviously, right? And what happens with this, he is also combining the idea of really low carbs, pretty much keto diet, with fasting 24 hours, fasting 1 meal a day, right? Now, let's have a look at the system behind that equation again. Why does eating once a day make you think quicker, make you more clear, make you more sharp? And why is being hungry good for your cognition, right? Now, when you are fasted, when you're hungry, so to speak, your body needs to be alert, needs to be awake, needs to be creative. Your brain needs to find creative ways for you to survive. If that wasn't the case, we in the evolution would have not reached today, okay? Because if our ancestors weren't awake and alert and focused and their brains finding creative ways for them to find food and gather food and survive, we wouldn't have evolved to this day. It's simple as that. And that's the simple kind of surface kind of things. But how your brain does that is that it releases norepinephrine, epinephrine, which is adrenaline, when you're fast, when you're hungry, okay? So that makes you more alert, more awake. Your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight mode, is more active when you're fasting, when you're hungry. So you are in a situation where you're trying to be alert and trying to be awake. As in, when you're actually eating the food, your body is trying to enter the restorative mode, which is your parasympathetic nervous system is being activated, which is your rest and digest. So when your body is dealing with food, it's trying to enter that rest and digest mode, because otherwise the food will be there for ages, so your body doesn't like that. So this is why you might feel lethargic after eating meals. You don't feel as sharp or as productive. And I'm sure if you have tried, if you've been watching my previous videos in which I am explaining the benefits of fasting, I will link that up here. Yeah, if you have tried fasting yourself, you will find that you are at your most productive when you're hungry and when you're fasted, okay? That's the reason, because your brain needs to be firing up on all cylinders in order for you to find creative ways to find food. But in that instance, that's not the case. You're just focused on the task at hand without allocating energy to your digestive tract. Blood deriving from your brain, making you feel more tired in order for blood to arrive to your digestive tract to digest the food, okay? So that's one part of the equation. That's your hormones, or the epinephrine, norepinephrine, which is the adrenaline being released and making you feel more alert. And this is why Andrew Tate feels quicker, more sharp, more clear. The other part is that, as I already mentioned, your digestion is one of the most energy consuming functions. So whenever your body is not dealing with food, you have more energy to be awake and be clear. So that's another part of the equation. Now also, if you have observed Andrew, he said that he feels better, he looks better, he feels younger, his skin looks better, he's less puffy. So the process behind that, again, is that many things happen when you're fasting, and that fasted state is good for your hormones. It has anti-aging effects. it's good for your mitochondria, it's good for your cells. So essentially, autophagy is something that happens when you are in that fasted state. Autophagy means that something gets eaten by itself. So what that means in a practical manner is that old and weak cells are being replaced by new and strong cells. And this is also true for your mitochondria, which is the energy and life source of your cells. Without active and without good and young mitochondria, you will not be optimized, you will not feel good, you will feel weak, you will look weak. Mitochondria is the energy powerhouse of your body, of the cells. Energy maker is the factory of decisions, it's pretty much your life, mitochondria. So if you have good and young mitochondria, you will look better, feel better, and perform better. Also, another thing that Andrew Tate does is that he eats almost 90, as he has stated, 85 to 90% of his foods come from animal proteins, meats.
80% of the calories I consume in a day is meat. And people say to me, oh, I love meat, I have a hamburger. No, a hamburger isn't meat.
Now, the reason behind that is that whenever you are feeding yourself with high fat, high protein sources such as animal products, meats, for example, this is what Andrew likes eating the most, meats. First of all, in terms of the hunger, your daily hunger, that gets eliminated because eating that one big meal a day that is mostly composed of meats that are going to be really high in proteins and fats, this is going to be really, really satiating for you. So you're not going to be feeling hungry. You're not going to be feeling like you need more food after that because they have a really, really satiating effect. Now, also, what happens whenever you're restricting the processed foods and inflammatory foods such as pasta, refined carbs and sugars, sweets, breads, these are pro-inflammatory foods that cause inflammation to your gut lining, the lining that you have on top of your gut pretty much, right? So whenever that piece of your gut is being inflamed, all sorts of diseases will eventually start coming up. Diabetes, liver diseases, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, arthritis, acid reflux, anything you can name will be derived from inflammation, chronic inflammation. If you're eating pro-inflammatory foods such as refined carbs and sugars, vegetable oils, foods like that, you will be inflaming your gut, and you will, because there is a direct correlation with your gut to your brain, the so-called gut-brain axis, every biological waste that derives from your gut will pass from your brain, and this is why you feel brain fog. This is the main cause of your brain fog if you have suboptimal nutrition habits. Now, another thing with low carbs, let's set aside the inflammatory response of your system with refined carbs and sugars. Even if you're not eating inflammatory foods, even if your carb intake is high, whenever you remove those carbs of your diet and you enter that state of so-called ketosis, this is going to be particularly good for your focus because ketones are a really, really phenomenal source of energy for your brain. And this is another reason why Andrew says that he likes to be sharp, he likes to be clear. Another statement that he has made is that when he was eating carbs, he was not thinking clear, and because he's a big chess player, he spends a lot of his time playing chess. Whenever he was eating carbs back in the day, he spent 1 or 2 hours playing chess, and he was losing all day because he could not think clear. Now that he doesn't eat carbs, he can concentrate even more, and his chess games are being significantly improved in his ability to think clearly, right? So that's another good benefit of removing carbs altogether from your diet and sort of transforming into keto. Also, another thing that with high protein, high fat meals, such as red meats and meats in general that he eats, is that these foods are high in tyrosine, which tyrosine is a precursor to dopamine, and dopamine is a precursor to adrenaline. Okay, so this makes you feel alert, energized, focused, clear, and not groggy, because carbs also have a sedative effect, which makes you feel more sleepy, more relaxed, because complex carbs are high in tryptophan, which tryptophan is the precursor to serotonin, and serotonin is making you feel more relaxed, more calm, more content. And this is why when you eat carbs in the evening or in the afternoon, you feel kind of groggy and sleepy afterwards, and you need that afternoon nap. So yeah, these are the benefits of and the reasons why Andrew Tate, Mr. Top G, is going First of all, 1 meal a day, and second of all, keto kind and carnivore kind of diet. This is why he prefers to follow these kinds of regimens, and this is why he feels clear, feels sharp, and feels like he can think quickly when he's on that, when he's adhering to those protocols. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure to leave a like down below. Make sure to share this video with your friends, because we all know who Andrew Tate is that nowadays, and I'm pretty sure that most of your friends are going to be wanting to know why is he eating 1 meal a day, and this is the science behind that. So please share it with your friends, let them know. And other than that, guys, I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Cheers.